The internet is on fire. A new technology was supposed to change the world. Instead, it has ignited a firestorm of anger. GPT-5 is here, and people are furious. OpenAI promised a revolution. They delivered a product that many of its most loyal users now despise. What went wrong? The story is more complex than a simple software update. It is a story of broken trust, baffling changes, and a feeling that something essential has been lost. The backlash is not just noise from a vocal minority. It is a widespread, passionate, and growing movement of disappointment. This is not your typical online debate. This is a digital uprising. Forums like Reddit are flooded with threads. X, formerly Twitter, is a battlefield of hashtags. Hashtags like GPT-5 failed and bring back GPT-4 are trending daily. One of the loudest complaints is about raw intelligence. Users claim GPT-5 is simply dumber. It sounds impossible. How can a newer, more advanced model be less intelligent? The answer lies in OpenAI's new alignment and safety protocols. In an attempt to make the AI safer and less prone to generating harmful content, the company implemented aggressive new filters. These filters are not just catching malicious prompts, they are overcorrecting. They are stifling the model's ability to reason, to understand nuance, and to handle complex, multi-step instructions. The AI has become overly cautious, often refusing to answer legitimate questions. This overcorrection has had a devastating impact on its logical capabilities. Programmers who once used the AI as a co-pilot now find it making basic syntax errors. It gets stuck in loops. It misunderstands the core logic of a problem. What was once a brilliant collaborator is now a frustrating intern. The model seems to have lost its ability for abstract thought. Beyond logic and reason, users are mourning the loss of something less tangible. They are mourning the loss of creativity. GPT-4 was known for its spark. It could write poetry with surprising emotional depth. It could generate imaginative story plots. It could adopt different writing styles with uncanny accuracy. It had a flair, a personality that made it feel like more than just a machine. Users report that this spark is gone in GPT-5. The new model is described as sterile, repetitive, and corporate. Its prose is bland. Its ideas are generic. The soul, it seems, has been stripped from the machine. This creative neutering is a direct result of the same safety filters affecting its logic. In an effort to eliminate any possibility of generating offensive or controversial content, the model has been trained to be aggressively neutral. It avoids taking risks. It shies away from edgy or provocative language. The result is a writing style that is incredibly safe, but also incredibly boring. For writers, marketers, and content creators, this is a disaster. The AI that once helped them brainstorm and break through creative blocks now produces content that reads like it was written by a committee of lawyers. Ask GPT-5 for a poem about rage, and you will likely get a lecture on anger management. Ask it for a dark fantasy story, and it will produce a sanitized tale suitable for young children. The AI has lost its ability to understand and replicate the full spectrum of human emotion and experience. The backlash against GPT-5 is not just about the product itself. It is also about the company that made it. A deep sense of mistrust is now aimed at OpenAI. The company, which once championed a mission of openness and transparency, is now seen as secretive and dismissive of its user base. The changes to GPT-5 were implemented without warning or consultation. Users woke up one morning to find their essential tool had been fundamentally altered. There was no public beta, no request for feedback, and no clear explanation for the drastic changes. This top-down approach has alienated the very community that helped build its success. This lack of transparency is a major source of anger. OpenAI has offered vague statements about alignment research and improving safety, but has refused to provide specific details. They have not released the technical papers or data that would justify such a significant downgrade in performance and creativity. This secrecy fuels speculation and conspiracy theories. Users are left to guess why the changes were made. Was it due to legal pressure? Was it a cost-cutting measure? Was it a panicked response to some internal research they are unwilling to share? The silence from OpenAI is deafening, and it is destroying the trust the company once enjoyed. The issue is compounded by a feeling of broken promises. Many users are paying subscribers. They signed up for a service based on the capabilities of GPT-4. Now they are paying the same price, or in some cases more, for a product they consider to be vastly inferior. They feel they have been the victims of a bait and switch. The story of GPT-5 has become a cautionary tale. It shows that in the world of technology, newer is not always better. Progress is not always a straight line forward. The massive backlash has placed OpenAI at a critical crossroads. The company now faces a difficult choice. Does it double down on its current path, insisting that its vision of a safer, more restricted AI is the correct one? Or does it listen to the overwhelming feedback from its community and attempt to course correct? The path it chooses will likely define not only the future of GPT-5, but the future of the company itself. The core of the backlash can be summarized by three key grievances. First, the perceived downgrade in intelligence and logical reasoning has crippled its utility for technical users. Second, the sterilization of its creative capabilities has alienated writers, artists, and innovators. Third, the lack of transparency and the feeling of broken promises have created a massive trust deficit with its community. These are not minor complaints. They are fundamental criticisms that strike at the very heart of what made the technology so revolutionary in the first place. Any solution from OpenAI must address these 3 points directly. One possible path forward is to offer different versions of the model. Perhaps a heavily filtered, safe version could exist alongside a more powerful, unfiltered pro version for vetted users who understand the risks. Ultimately, the future of GPT-5 remains uncertain. Will OpenAI listen and adapt, or will it forge ahead, confident in its own vision, even if it means leaving its community behind? The coming months will be crucial. The world is watching to see how the company responds to this unprecedented wave of user dissent. The stakes are incredibly high. The decisions made in the boardrooms of OpenAI will not only determine the fate of a single product, but could also shape the direction of the entire field of artificial intelligence for years to come. The digital uprising has asked its question. Now, it waits for an answer.